5 minutes. I got to get my makeup on. Shit. Makeup? Where's she at? I need her to do my makeup.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting for those two buffoons for the rest of the week. Well, guess what? The time has come for you to listen to the Brain Tool Show, taping out live and direct in front of a captive audience here in some dumpy old building in Chicago? I don't know. I am Rob the Brain, and this is my co-host. Give it up to the Tool Man, the Buffalo Tool. What's up, Mr. Tool?
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. I'm just sitting here in my mobile studios. That's right. I'm not at the mobile like you're at the mobile. I'm in my mobile rolling studios, but I am currently not mobile. I am parked. Just kind of sitting here listening to little Rolling Stones, getting in the mood for tonight's show. This song always puts me in the mood. Waiting on a Friend, because I'm always waiting on you, Rob, every week to come in here to our Buffalo Brain Tool Studios and help me put on a show and entertain some people out there. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think 100% you're right. I am waiting on a friend, and you're my friend, and therefore I'm not waiting. Wait, I'm not waiting because you're on my friend. But wait, I'm a little confused now. So you mean to tell me every time you wait on me? I mean, oh, wait a minute. I get it now. Yes, yes. I am a stone and I'm rolling down the hill. Gotcha.
No, 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 no. The Stone, that would be Tilly's boyfriend. You haven't heard? Oh, this is one of those week in review things. Tilly has a boyfriend. He goes by the name Stone, and he is live and direct in CB Radio Drama Free. Yes, she introduced him to us last night, but he was having technical difficulties and was not able to key up. But he is here tonight, live and direct. He may be listening. I know she is. And if she's listening, she's making him listen.
So we have a new guest of honor. Hello, hello, Mr. Stone. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Rob the Brain, and this is my co-host, Buffalo Tool. And as you can tell, we are on live here on the Brain Tool Show. We come in here every single Saturday night at midnight, which technically would be Sunday morning. And yeah, we broadcast this particular show to put a smile on everybody's face. And yes, I'd like to welcome everyone who's listened to us across the entire world. Of course, YouTube and Twitch, fellas. Thank you for listening. If you're tuning in right now, well, guess what? You're in for a good surprise because we have a good show for you. Yes, we do. Buffalo Tool. So Tilly now has a boyfriend. You know what I've heard that you didn't know?
Oh, please tell. Please tell. You know how I like to keep up on the latest events here in the CB Radio Drama Free?
I've heard, now, I don't know if it's true or not, I've heard that a friend of the show not only is a friend of the show, he also participated in a number of them. He's here in the audience and he's listening to us as we speak. I think you know who I'm talking about. He is a very proud member of the 1964 California Cupcake Company. I know 1964 was a good year, and the Cupcakes are a friend of our show. Yes, they are. They've been very, very, very good to us, and in fact, we love having them around. And if they're here in the audience, we'd like to give them a shout out. We love them. We love them indeed, and we love their music more than anything. By the way, what's the easiest way to get a hold of the Cupcakes?
Well, the easiest way to do it is they have a Facebook page called the 1947 California Cupcake Company. And you can get on their Facebook page and send them a message, send them an instant message, whatever. And they will usually reply within 24 hours. Or every once in a while, more often than here lately, Blind Lemon Pie, who is one of the members of the Cupcakes, has been in our live studio audience here and participating. Last week he was live on the air, in my absence. Did very well. Um, I don't know if they have a MySpace. Does anybody use MySpace anymore?
What, your space? What space are you talking about? What do you mean by your space? Uh, I never heard of your space.
No, MySpace.
Well, yeah, you just said your space. I got you. Your space. Yeah, huh? Well, what is your space? Well, what does your space have to do anything? Why would anyone use your space for anything?
I have no idea, Rob. I really don't. I don't know. My space is pretty small. It's kind of cramped right here in the mobile studios. But this mobile studios just kind of segues into uh, our first topic. Um, we bring a smile to everybody's face, but if you recall, a couple weeks ago, I did not have a smile on my face when we walked into our studio.
I know. It's the shutdown thing. I know. And it got to you. It got to everybody. Thank God it's over. The shutdown is over, and now we have access to the higher sources again. Do you remember the higher sources?
Of course, I remember the higher sources because even though the government was shut down, I had a higher source that was still sending me information on a small scale investigation that we're holding here in our studios. Come on, Rob, don't tell me you forgot already. A couple weeks ago, we walk into the studio getting ready to do our show, do our thing. I had to take a leak. I go to the bathroom, and next thing you hear was me screaming your name, and it was not in pleasure, but it was because our toilet had been destroyed.
That was hilarious about the toilet situation. I saw it. I was thinking, how do people do that?
Well, see, here's the problem. We do have a problem with the toilet situation. I mean, I believe a friend of ours as well destroyed it, and you know they were billed and they refused to pay us anything, and so um, we insist that they pay us our money. Yeah, I know, because fixing a toilet is not cheap. You have to get a plumber. The plumber has to go to Home Depot and or any supply store that he prefers, and buy a toilet, buy the flusher, buy a tank, and whatever piping he needs, and so on. And then he has to come back and install the new toilet. That is, if there is any no further damage to the plumbing. I mean, it's a turmoil. It really is. Taking dumps in the office has been very, very difficult in here in our studios.
Oh, sorry about that. What do you call it? Nothing's not cheap nowadays.
No, it is not. Nothing is cheap. Nothing is cheap. Oh my goodness. Oh, looks, Rob, I think we have a caller on line one. We're not actually taking phone calls right now, but it looks like an important caller. Uh, let's go ahead. Caller on line one. Go ahead with your question about this small investigation.
Well, I would like to say that it was totally not 100% my fault. I had to light a match. Amongst doing so, while letting out a little bit of gas, the lights went out on a timer that you guys have in there. I'm not releasing my name to anybody, but I lit a match, get a little light in there, so I could see what I was doing amongst letting some gas out. I burnt the hair out my ass, and it exploded the whole bathroom, and I apologize.
That's apology accepted. However, I mean, there's still remaining funds that you've destroyed. I mean, Jesus, who lights up a match under their ass and singes their hair like that? Ass hair. So you mean to tell me right now you have burnt ass hair on your ass, and by default, of course, you destroyed our toilet. our precious, beloved toilet. You know what? Buffalo Tool, do you mind showing that photo of the toilet? Please do show the photo of that toilet. It is a miserably sad, destroyed toilet.
There it is. For the second time tonight, I've posted a picture of the toilet. Now, Rob, what you don't know, because I was the only one getting the higher sources documents, this person's DNA was found on the toilet seat. Not only did he light a match and destroy our toilet, but somehow he managed to glue his ass to the toilet seat, thus leaving some skin behind, from which the investigators pulled DNA, and it just led right to this guy right there, our caller. It was him. Okay. So he lit a match, blew up the toilet, and then somehow super glued his ass to the seat. The skin was left behind. Super glue residue was left behind. It just it just snowballed into a debacle real quick. I've never heard of such a thing, but that's the deduction the investigators came up with.
Again, he glued his ass to the toilet. You know as well as I know this is not his first offense with gluing his ass to a toilet seat. I mean, what is it with him and super glue? What? I mean, how could you mistake super glue with like a disinfectant or something? I mean, really, what is it? Why do you have this fascination of gluing your ass to the toilet seat? What is that? What is that malfunction, the obsession with gluing your ass to a toilet seat? What, you can't go, a week or two until you go, you know what? You know, I haven't glued my ass to a toilet seat. It's been almost a week now. I'm going to go in there and glue my ass to a toilet seat. What is it? What is it with that?
Well, one time in band camp, the toilet was so big, and I have a little ass. And I went to sit down, to do the number two. And when I sat down, I fell in. And no one would help me. I just sat there wiggling my legs up in my face. I'm yelling, help me, I'm falling in the toilet and I can't get out. And everybody's just doing their own thing, letting me sit there for hours on end. You should have seen the ring around the rose, the ass, when I got out, finally. And the instructor came and picked me out of there. Yeah. And that was a tragic accident when I was little. And now I still got such a tiny ass. I'm afraid I'm going to fall in, so I still glue myself. You guys don't put seatbelts on the damn things. So what am I supposed to do?
But Rob, wait. There's more. Would you like to hear the rest of the story?
Of course I would.
Not only did the perpetrator blow up this toilet, apparently he had to take a second restroom break. Okay? I don't know what this gentleman ate, but here's a picture, I'm posting it right now, of the second toilet in our restroom. Well, not second in the restroom. I think that's Computer Chick's toilet, if I see it correctly. I never go into her bathroom, so I don't know. So it looks like her bathroom, her toilet. And he clogged it up, thus causing flooding, of which the crews had to rebuild the floors in the studio, which cost me jail time because my dead hookers were found under the floor where I had them buried. So now I'm in trouble because this guy flooded the toilet.
What? What is his obsession with toilets? My God. You know, I am a little disturbed. This is a very, very, very disturbing photo, where you showed the toilet overflooding with fecal matter in the water. I mean, the water is brown, for crying out loud. And there's prostitutes hidden underneath there. And he caused, this is a matter of negligence. Yes, and yeah, we need to get to the bottom of it. That's it. I'm done. He owes us money and no checks, because something tells me that every time you get a check from this guy, it'll bounce. He puts it in your hand, and next thing you know, boing, what the hell? What just happened? Your check bounced, dude. And be like, yeah, well, what can I tell you? It's a mean check. It's made of rubber, Yeah. Jesus Christ. What's the fascination with toilets and flooding and destroying them? This man should be away from toilets. This man should be banned by government and law, where he should not use any toilet and or urinal. Something tells me that, he has a fascination with that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Caller, are you still on the line? Because yeah, we'd like the explanation of what did you eat to clog up the toilet? Because that looks like chimichanga night at the Garcia house right there, and it just flooded the toilet. My goodness gracious. I'm glad it just. I don't know, but this got me in trouble. This really got me in trouble. I mean, thought I had those dead hookers buried under the floor. No one will ever find them. I threw some lime in there, or lye or whatever it's called, lime. Yeah, powder substance, kind of like John Wayne Gacy did down in his crawl space under his house. No one ever knew, but now I've been exposed. I've been exposed. I don't know. But may I throw this in here, Rob, real quick? Pay TV. I'd like to give a shout out to Pay TV for hosting our show tonight. That is right. Thank you for hosting us.
Yes, Pay TV has been a very good supporter of our show. And for that, we give you a shout out and a big thank you, hug and a kiss, not from your lips, but you know what I mean. Thank you again, Pay TV. You've been great to us. Really, we appreciate the support 100%. And we support you as well. And, whenever Pay TV comes around and pays us for doing TV stuff, we kind of, I don't know. I'm just mumbling on, but I love Pay TV. Yes, they've been very good supportive to us, and then we appreciate them. Shout out for them, of course. But yeah, dead hookers and Buffalo Tool. What's up with the dead hookers? What is it with you and dead hookers? We'll get to the bottom of this in the office later on. But for now, I want to understand, what did he eat that night that clogged this toilet so bad? I mean, chimichangas. I don't know, Buffalo Tool. I'm sorry, I have to disagree on that one. Chimichangas would be baby food for him. I honestly think he ate something a little more dangerous, a little more risque, something along the line of haggis.
I think it was one of his egg rolls.
Yes. And first of all, prostitutes. Where do you come up with rubber dolls being prostitutes? Anyway, I posted a picture of what I ate, folks. Yes, lobster egg rolls. I had to put a jack in my mouth and stretch it that wide open to swallow it whole. But let me tell you, it blew up when it came out the other hole.
Wait a minute. You have a lobster egg roll in your mouth. Oh, God. That doesn't look like a lobster egg roll, so let's just get that out of the way.
Wait. Did you see the picture he posted there, Rob? I mean, look how he's inserting that into his mouth.
My point exactly. That doesn't look like a lobster egg roll. I mean, who eats a lobster egg roll like they're sucking dick? I never understood that.
That's what you call food porn, I guess. Not only is he into the toilets, but he's also into food porn. This guy's got some weird fetishes.
The party starts in my mouth, so what can I say?
Does it explode in your mouth and not in your hand?
Does it give you pleasure when it's done?
Oh, the sensation I had. It was like a multiple orgasm when I bit into that lobster tail. Oh, there's one tail I'll be chasing for life.
It's going to be chasing you, too, all the way to the restroom.
I know. I mean, are you sure it didn't squirt in your mouth when you bit into it?
That's what that funny feeling was going down my throat. I felt like spitting at first, but I just let it go. Anyway, as far as the COD on your bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. What's up with that? And no, I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let it go. You owe us money. And you you need to tell us What's so special about this particular lobster roll that you ate that was so good about? What's so good about that lobster roll? Are you sure it's a lobster roll? That's my bigger question. That's the bottom line I want to get to. What's so special about whatever that is in your mouth?
It said lobster on the package. I was craving seafood, so I went in and bought it. And I was like, my, oh my. I got it out of the microwave, and it was all steaming and juicy. Smelled like fresh lobster. I brought it over to the table and lightly glazed the outside of the shell with some butter. And I stuck it in my mouth, and I bit down. And of course, it was steaming hot. And juices are squirting in my mouth from all the cabbage and the noodles and all the stuff that they put in egg rolls. And all of a sudden, I bit into the meat. And, oh, it was a sensation like you would no other.
Well, as you can tell, Digits TV said that, you shouldn't mix lobster egg rolls and sucking dick. But too bad he can't see the photo, I don't think. And we really will post them sometime later after the show. But, for the time being, really, what is... Why does Digit TV seem a little too upset over the whole concept? I mean, if a lobster roll, egg roll, looks like a dick, would you suck on it? I guess. I don't know. If you see the photo, you'll see what I mean. I mean, really, I don't know, man. It just looks so wrong. The photo looks wrong in so many ways.
And there you can see our caller with another roll in his hand. That thing looks massive. It really does. It's a wonder he can fit it all in his mouth. But apparently he can dislocate his jaws and get that in there. Wow. He'd probably make a good porn star.
Well, you might want a correction here. He might make a great porn star. No, it might make a great gay porn star, but yeah.
Well, I'm always happy to be on your show. That's why I try to call in. I'm happy all the time.
Especially with those egg rolls. Man, sounds like you're really enjoying them.
So I figured, guys, in answer to your original question of how we're going to pay for this, or I'm sorry, how I'm going to pay for this toilet bursting and, and the other one lighting on fire, I'm thinking that, I'm thinking about opening up my own, let's see, it's too cold to do a car wash to raise money. I'm thinking about maybe... Well, I'll figure something out by your next show, and I'll pay you guys in lump sums. Is $1 a show sound good?
Wait a minute. I've got two good ideas that just sprang off the top of my head. You could either pimp yourself out on the street corner, but like you said, it's too cold. And cold causes shrinkage among men, so you won't get any business with the shrinkage. I didn't know it could shrink that much more, but I guess it could like crawl in, I guess. That's about as much smaller as it's going to get. Or you could start a GoFundMe page. There's two ideas. Rob, you have any ideas on how he can raise money to pay for our restroom remodel?
Oh, yes, there is another good idea. I mean, I know him. He's a big guy, and he farts a lot. And his farts are rather warm. And now that there's a cold wave coming through his state, I think he can charge $1 per fart. And what he does is that he goes to people's bedroom while they're sleeping, and they pay him money, and then he just goes under the covers by the side of the bed, farts, and walks away. And what that does, it keeps them warm. Of course, they're going to have to deal with the smell, so I suggest that he should give away masks along with his services. But, yeah, that would be a very good way of warming up people, and he'd be doing people a great service and good money, of course. He'll charge very heftily. And then he can continue on eating more stuff to make him fart proudly.
Thank you, Rob. That's really generous of you. I thought you were probably going to tell me to start some kind of porn thing with my egg roll. Thank you. It's really generous.
Why? I mean, you still can do porn. Who's to stop you? All you need is just a good camera, a link to a website. It should be anonymous at this point. And then people will pay you money. And once they pay money, they have access to your video, and you can just eat all the all the egg rolls that look like dicks, like and you don't have to eat them with your mouth. Also, you can stuff them up your ass. I don't know, whatever fetishes that they require. Yeah, that'll be one way to make money as well too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say soft porn would probably be a little bit better for him. I can't quite see him into the hardcore porn industry. Soft porn would be better.
I don't know. Hardcore would be even funny for him too. He would be great. He would be great. I mean, can you imagine him with his big height and voluptuous body? He can do some damage. Like the camera guy would probably be like, "Hey, listen, I'm trying to not to zoom in on you, because every time I zoom in, I just see flubber, and I don't know if that's what you're shooting for, but some people get turned on by flubber."
Ah, gives whole new meaning to the movie Boogie Nights.
Not only Boogie Nights. There's a lot of movies that actually covered the porn industry. I can honestly see him a few years down the road. And doing that documentary. What was it called? After the Porn. And then they have him in a good frame in the photo, and and then he'll be talking about his movies and be like, yeah, every time I go on camera, people just like tell me to wiggle around. I have yet to have sex with anyone. They just like me to wiggle around, and they stuff things in my body. Just the other day, somebody used that gap between my man boob and my belly, and yeah, it was sticky.
I think that was the scene where they put a stack of waffles in there and poured syrup on them and ate them.
Yeah, that's when he was sitting there, like you said, with waffles, and and then he was screaming, "Lego my ego, Lego my ego," and they were like, "Oh, we'll let go, all right."
That's when they were looking for his nutsack. Lego my ego. Oh, nope, that's not my ego.
That'd be more like my ego. But anyway.
Oh, he was yelling, "Let go my ego, not ego." Oh, whoops, sorry. Easily confused.
Well, if he was upside down, they'll probably come across some chocolate chips. Oh, wait a minute, that's not chocolate chips.
Ooh, those are dingleberries. Oops. So, Rob, while we have our caller here, guess what? I heard a little bit of talk amongst the women today on CB Radio Drama Free. I heard some of the women talking. They didn't know I was listening because I was supposed to be driving, but I was listening. Would you like to know what they were talking about? I think you would be very interested.
Oh, let me guess. Let me take a wild guess. They were talking about the best way to make a lobster bisque.
No, actually, they were talking about how handsome Mr. Buffalo Tool is, how good looking of a guy he is. But then some other woman in the channel, which will remain nameless, said, I think there's other guys out there that, you know, are better looking than him. They said, oh, yeah, prove it. So, what the women are planning is to have a gorgeous guy of CB radio drama free contest.
Wait. What? They have a drama-free contest about the sexiest men or the dreamiest or whatever? Really? Oh, okay. That's interesting. You know, to be honest with you, I thought they would be talking about the best way to make lobster bisque, but maybe I'm saying that because I'm a little hungry. You know, yeah, that's what? We're on the air. All right. Hey, yeah, the sexiest men. Yeah. What happened? What? Why can't I hear you? What? Who said what? Who said what? What?
I can see someone already jumped the gun because I had the pictures ready to go. All right. Okay, Rob. We have a few contestants that have entered. Okay. All right. Now, are you ready for this, Rob? Are you ready?
Hold on. Let me put on my seatbelt here. Okay. There we go. All right. 1 second. Let me get some chains. Chain up myself. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Give me a second here. I'm trying to get I'm getting the pictures together here, and give me one moment. You have something you can make an announcement while I get this together, Rob? Because apparently I had a little bit of a technical difficulty.
Well, I do have a bunch of announcements. Actually, I am. I want to thank, of course, all our listeners and our participants who are in the channel currently right now in front of this wonderful captive audience. And if you want to be part of the audience and or a participant, all you have to do is download Zello, Zello. It's an app. And when you download it, of course, you create an account. It's free. And once you do that, all you have to do is, look into CB Radio Drama Free in channel search. You hit channel search, type in CB Radio Drama Free, and that'll bring you right to our show. Not to mention also, this show is brought to you by East Texas Guy Fingers. East Texas Guy Fingers, now they actually have an availability of a new product that they're pushing out on the market. It's called East Texas Guy Fist. And soon to come, East Texas Guy Fist with a vibrator. So it's the best product for your sex toys. If you really want something stuffed up your ass and or crevices, this is the toy for you to buy, East Texas Guy Fingers. And the show is also sponsored by, I believe, what was her name again? That lady that went by, she sponsored us. Thank you. Other than that, there is another guy who actually sponsored us, and that would be, what? What was that? What was his name again? Who? Really? That's his name? Big Dick Johnson? Oh, no, this is a prank. Never mind.
All right, Rob. And here we go with our contestants. Let me get a little music going here. I don't know if you can hear it or not. All right, just some light music in the background. In the mobile studios. All right. We have here Sexy Man Contest of ROC. We have contestant number 1. Here he is, coming from Canada, Lone Wolf. He speaks English and some French, and he likes to talk dirty. That is Lone Wolf. All right, and contestant number 2, give it up, straight from the UK, sexy voice and all, Alan. That is right. Alan is contestant number 2. Woohoo! All right. And here we go with, oops, sorry about that. Contestant number 3. You have got the co-host of your show right here, the co-host with the most. And some ladies were saying that I was the most handsome one out there. Give it up for ROC Elite Mr. Buffalo Tool, contestant number 3. All right, here we go with our 4th and final contestant that so far that has entered this, you want to call it a male beauty pageant? Whatever. Wait, uh-oh. I see we have another entry. But here is contestant number 4, a former Chippendale dancer, so you know he's got to be sexy. Adam. That's right. And our 5th and final contestant that has entered so far. Oh, I see that. I've got a lot of competition here. It's the host of the Brain Tool Show. Uh-oh. Look at this sexy pose, this sexy look in his eyes, as if to say, women, I'm coming to get you. Oh, shoot, Rob the Brain. Those are the 5 men that have entered the contest so far. And we will update as the weeks go by, because we will not be judging next week or the week after. It's going to take a while because the ladies cannot make up their minds.
You know, Buffalo Tool, there's 2 contestants, that be you, and I believe Adam. I have photos that would actually turn on every lady. I think they're the sexiest photos of both of you, and they are both very, very, very worthy to the ladies of the ROC and or our viewers and participants. You see, if you don't mind, why don't you make an announcement as I make ready the list of photos that I have on Adam. Look at how beautiful Adam is. Adam is amazing. Really, I mean, the guy is sexy. Sexy to no avail.
Okay, I will do a small infomercial here for about 30 seconds, Rob. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been walking down the street and just plain forgotten where you were going? You walk to the kitchen and walk to the cabinets and say, I came in here to get something, but I just can't remember what it was. You walk out to your car to retrieve your reading glasses, but then you get to the car and you're thinking, man, what did I come out to the car for? Shoot, and then you walk back inside and sit on the couch. Another example is, have you ever come on to CB Radio Drama Free and said, hey guys, I got a button, but, I forgot what I was going to say. Well, those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen, because now they're selling like hotcakes. They're flying off the shelves. The Granny 420 memory foam inserts for your shoes. That's right. Never forget what you went out to your car for. Never forget why you walked into the kitchen and opened up the cabinet door. The Granny 420 memory foam inserts, when worn properly. Oops, that's the key. Granny 420 foam inserts must be worn properly, not upside down or inside out. You will never forget what you went outside for again. Those days are gone. You can get these at Walgreens, Walmart, Kmart, if there's any Sears left. All right, don't forget, Granny 420 memory foam inserts. You heard it here first on CB Radio Drama Free on the Brain Tool Show. Rob, what do you have for us?
If you look at Adam here, our friend, he was, you see here, in this particular lineup of photos, I mean, there is no doubt in my mind that he looks very sexy and he's ready to be kinky. If you look at the last picture there, we actually uploaded. If you notice, he likes to plug himself into a battery and, of course, torture himself with a little bit of, a little bit of electricity. Not only that, but also if you really look at this following photo right here that I just uploaded at this very moment, also he was celebrating Christmas in a naughty sort of fashion. And I love the way he does that. It is so naughty. It makes me look, blushy blush. And, he took that out of his mouth and then he put this into his mouth. Get a load of this photo I'm uploading. And there's one more. The man knows how to attract other men. Yes, he does. Last time he was seen going to a gay bar, he was actually dressed in this outfit. What a sexy, sexy outfit. What a sexy look for him. I honestly think Adam is a great, great, great sport. And look at those photos. You cannot deny he oozes sexy.
But wait, Rob, as much as I'm laughing here, I think I think I did wet my pants. But didn't you say you had some pictures of me as well?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned that, and you are a contestant, so I might as well give the ladies what they came to see. Exactly. I have a bunch of photos of you, one of which is too risque, but I will post as well. So allow me to show you the first one here. This one is called, well, you told me to call it that. What? What was his name again? Oh, the Hugh Hefner Gay Special. This one here, yes, it's one of my very favorites, to be honest. And there's another picture of you has been taken as well, where you expose yourself a little too much, a bit too much, and you too close to the camera, and it was rather sad when I saw it, and I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, what is he thinking? And he goes like, that's right, baby. That's what you get when you get the Buffalo tool, the whole tool. An unnecessary zoom on this particular photo. And we also have another photo of you, sir. Yes, you. Being sexy as always in a leopard skin. I can't believe how sexy you look in that one. Very, very nice photos of you. Really, Buffalo Tool, you're a great sport. And you know what? If he oozes sexy, you, sir, define the word sexy. When we look at sexy in the dictionary, we see those photos.
The Hugh Hefner, huh?
Well, yeah, that's what you told me when I took the photo. You were like, yeah, look at this. Yeah. And I'm going to have a Lady Gaga written all over my chest. And I'm like, wait, you got this into a tattoo? You says, yeah, that's the gay version of Hugh Hefner.
I do have to, being as I was part of the pictures, I do have to state one thing, just to clarify things a little bit here. There's got to be a first. Wow, there's got to be a first prize, a second prize, and a third prize here. Yeah, I mean, because I feel sorry for you guys if I won, and you guys walk around with your heads down and crying, maybe shedding a couple tears, and distraught, can't perform your show the next week. I'd feel sorry for you guys. So I think there should be a second and third prize for you guys.
Oh, come on. You've been a great sport. And you've been performing very well here. Those photos of you are stunning, to be honest with you. And it's between you and Buffalo Tool at this point. I mean, you both have amazing, sexy photos. And I mean, quote me on this, amazing, sexy photos. And, it's hard to be sexy. You have to understand, you're either born with it or you don't. And I think you two are born with it. So we'll leave it up to the ladies to actually make up their minds on who's got the sexiest.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I forgot I had those pictures taken there, Rob. I completely forgot. I thought you were going to pull the picture out of you know, something else, one of the other pictures we took like out at the park or next to the pond or where I was fishing or something like that. I did not know. I totally forgot about these pictures. Ah, yeah, I remember them now. I remember them now. I don't know how many ladies are out there listening on CB Radio Drama Free here for the Brain Tool Show, but if you are a lady and you are listening and you would like to key up and give your vote right now for the contestants that have entered so far for Sexiest Man of the CB Radio Drama Free ROC, please feel free to call in and cast your vote.
Of course you don't remember them very well because it was your very first time you actually went and got your hands on some Rohypnol. And you said, hey, I wonder how Rohypnol works. And you consumed some Rohypnol and you came and you were kind of blacked out. If you look at your eyes in those photos, you were like, oh, you were high on Rohypnol. that's the Rohypnol experiment.
My vote's for Alan. I vote for Alan. It's a tie between Alan and Buffalo Tool.
Buffalo Toll.
Oh my God. Oh boy. All right. So Buffalo Tool so far, we got a vote for Buffalo Tool.
Rob, it looks like you got a vote in the text box.
Yeah, I know, huh? What is up with that? I'm not that sexy. I cannot compete with your sexiness, both of you. I mean, between you and the rest of the men here, this is a very very, I'm weak in comparison.
Now, there's only one vote that matters to me. Out there somewhere, traveling across the highways of the United States, we have someone by the name Angel in Kansas. She's out there. She might be listening. And no, this is not my Casey Kasem. But if she's out there and she's listening, she can call in and cast her vote.
Well, let's hope that Angel in Kansas is listening, like you said, and she would be very, very glad to see those sexy photos of you, both of you, and hopefully we can put this to rest. But it's not just about beauty. Beauty is something on the outside. I mean, since we're talking about sexy and sexy robots and stuff. I mean, not sexy robot. No, sorry. Wait, hang on. We're talking about sexy photos and the whole idea of sexy. I wonder, really, I do. We've had very good groups and bands, and we scour the internet to find you the funniest music that we can get our hands on. And we came across something this past week, and we thought you guys might get a kick out of it. Have you heard the latest song? I think Buffalo Tool loved it. Buffalo Tool called me at 4 in the morning, and he says, Rob, you're going to have to listen to this. And I says, what's the matter? Why are you waking me up in the middle of sleep? And he says, no, you don't understand, man. You have to listen to this. He says, okay. Here's a link. And I listened to it, and he was right all along. This is something that you wake up your friend and tell him, you have to listen to the song. It's by an artist by the name of Will Ross. Will Ross, WILLROSS. And he wrote a beautiful song. Do you remember that song there, Buffalo Tool?
Oh yeah. I was driving down the highway, and I had my iPad hooked up to the truck here, and I was listening to some music, and then I decided to search for something like funny tunes or something like that on YouTube, just to listen to something to kind of wake me up, something that would enlighten me, and because sometimes I get in the mood for listening to music, and that song came on, and I says, oh my goodness, you know what, Rob would absolutely love this song. So I didn't even pull over. I just illegally made a phone call while driving the truck, and I said, Rob, hey, wake up, are you awake? And you're like, yeah, I'm awake now. Why? He said, oh, cuz check this out. And I played it over the, you could hear it over the speakers of the truck, and I told you, here's the link, I sent it to you, and you pulled it, you listened to it. So yeah, so we both enjoy it very much.
Yes, we did. As a matter of fact, we thought to ourselves, and we reached over to Mr. Will Ross, and we asked him, hey, is there any chance we can play the song on our show? And he says, absolutely. The man was very gracious enough to actually give us a rough copy of it. And, we have it here in our studios, and we're about to play it for you. But before we do so, we would like to thank him personally. Will Ross, thank you so much for sending your beautiful song, Horny Robot. Yes, the name of the song is Horny Robot. Yeah, and you can look it up. It's available on YouTube. It's Horny Robot by Will Ross, and it's very funny, and I hope you guys like it. So without further ado, we give you Horny Robot.
horny robot, always in the mood. Horny robot, built-in flashlight. Horny robot, won't tell you what to do. I'm your robot, tell me what to do. I'm your robot, your wish might come on. Horny robot, it won't judge you. Horny robot, always in the mood. Horny robot, built-in flashlight. Horny robot, won't tell you what to do. I'm your robot, tell me what to do. I'm your robot, your wish might come on. I'm your robot, but I'm alive, love me. I'm alive, love me. But I'm alive, love me. Horny robot, I don't love you. Horny robot, I never will. Horny robot, I don't love you, horny robot. You're just a robot girl. But I'm alive, love me. I'm alive, love me. But I'm alive, love me. I don't love you, I never will, horny robot. You're just a robot girl. Horny robot, horny robot. 'Cause I'm alive, love me. I'm alive, love me. I'm alive, love me. Horny robot, horny robot, horny robot.
Awesome song, Rob. Awesome song. Aren't you glad we found that one?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I love Horny Robot. Thank you again, Will Ross. You've been very, very good to us. We appreciate you giving us the rights to actually broadcast your song and put it up there. And yeah, Horny Robot is widely available to you on YouTube, and all you have to do is look it up. Horny Robot. It's the only song that's out there, believe it or not. It's by that name, and it's really, really great. What I don't understand is what was he thinking when he thought of that? I mean, the idea is beautiful. Yeah, it's quirky, it's weird, but the music is great. To be honest with you, I thought it reminds me back in those days where like Queen almost, one of those rock opera sort of thing, and it had all those elements of beautiful rock and roll. Well executed with funny lyrics, and I just it kills me.
Well, I hope it doesn't kill you, because then I'd have to look for a new host.
No, it doesn't kill me in that sense. But you know what I mean. It kills me of how good it is, really. I mean, there's not a lot of songs that talk about horny robots, and not a lot of songs talk about, robotic sexual fantasies. So this is a unique song in many ways. And it's if this song doesn't top the charts, I don't know what does. This is something that the Brain Tool Show proudly presents.
And every time I'm going to hear that song, Horny Robot, I'm going to think about Lone Wolf.
Are you sure you're not going to think about Adam?
No. It's got to be Lone Wolf, a.k.a. Dr. Cringe. He's in the channel right now. He's been texting in the box just because he's such a horny robot all the time.
But we met, and you said what big hands I have. I'm kind of hurt.
That's right. And Hank's Hands are big. And Hank's Hands are also a sponsor of the Brain Tool Show. You ever have that pickle jar you can't get open? That jar of jelly that's stuck because somebody smeared jelly all over the inside of the lid before they put it back onto the jar? Well, then get yourself a pair of Hank's Hands. Hank's Hands, they're strong, they're big, they'll open up that jar. You're working on a car, lug nut won't come loose. You just need that extra boost without, can't find a cheater bar to break that lug nut loose. Well, just put on your pair of Hank's Hands. Put them on, everything will be okay. You'll get that lug nut off, you'll change that tire in no time, and you'll be back on the road. But there's a disclaimer to Hank's Hands. Please do not put your Hank's Hands on and apply super glue to hold them in place. They will stay in place just fine the way they are. They will adapt to your hands. They will adjust to every contour of your fingers. Hank's Hands. Get them here exclusively on the Brain Tool Show.
You know, I actually like Hank's Hands. You know, if you are a member of a football team or a basketball team and you want to, you know, spank your friends at the end of the match, you don't want to touch them, you don't want to touch their ass, you can just simply use Hank's Hands for that purpose as well. If you're having sex and you don't want to touch your girlfriend's ass, I don't know why, but you know, you can use Hank's Hands to slap her ass with it. So Hank's Hands come in very useful also in a sexual manner.
They also come in handy at sporting events. You see these people in the crowd at the football game, you know, they got those giant foam fingers, you know, number one. You forgot your giant foam finger at home. Well, put your Hank's Hands on, and you can do the same thing with your Hank's Hands. Support your team. Tell them they're number one with your Hank's Hands. Or if you come across an irate driver and a little bit of road rage, you can put your Hank's Hands on and show that irate driver that they are number one as well.
Not only that, too, you can use them as a weapon. They're big enough to be used as a weapon. If you feel that you're about to be raped or mugged and or robbed, you can take out Hank's Hands and whip it directly across the face. And let me tell you, it will be a painful, painful thing. It will give you about a couple of seconds in order for you to run or get away. And that's just enough to make a getaway. So remember, Hank's Hands are a multi-purpose product. They're very, very good to have. You know, also, if you want to freak out your children, you know, late at night, in the dark, all you have to do is just wave their hands in front of their face and wake them up. And then the minute they wake up, boom, right into the hand. And they're like, oh, you know, yeah, they're very, very good. There's multiple uses for them.
That's right. Especially when you scare your kids at night. They've given you a rough day and you just want to scare the crap out of them. All you got to do is put your Hank's Hands in their face and go boogada, 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 like that. And then next thing you know, jumping out of bed and they're running all over the place. That's right. Hank's Hands have, they're multi-purpose, multi-function device. They can be helpful, hurtful, or you can scare somebody with them.
Not only that, too, Hank's Hands can be very good while you're shopping. In case you're wondering how, very simple. Whenever you actually want to reach out to grab a can and or a bottle, or any product for that matter, and you don't want to touch it, you can make cup hands of Hank's Hands and grab things with it as well. It's a very good way to actually shop. Also, very good for touching her in the pussy. Yes, I did say touching her in the pussy. If you are like our president who likes to cup people into the pussy and you don't want to get that sexual harassment case, you can also use Hank's Hands because you can honestly say, I did not touch that woman.
But they're also going to come out with a new product, Hank's Hands are. It's got Hank's Hands and forearm. So you can put those on and act like an extendo hand for reaching the items on the top shelf while you're doing your grocery shopping. That's to be released summer of 2019.
Hank's Hands also have another way of being used. You can use them also to measure the cup size of your girlfriend or loved girlfriend or spouse or whatever. Instead of you, holding them and then going into a Victoria's Secret shop and saying, well, they're about this size. Now you can honestly save that motion by using Hank's hands. Grab the hands, cup the breast with them, and then they will remain at that shape. So when you get to the store, such as Victoria's Secret, you can honestly say, this is the size of my girlfriend's boobs.
Oh, Rob. Oh, excuse me. You really cracked me up. But wait a minute, Rob. You're in the Brain Tool Studios, and I'm in the mobile studio. But don't you live in Florida?
Can you believe it? The rumors are true. I do believe in Florida.
Because Florida's been in the news a couple times this week. I've noticed there's actually a quite disturbing story coming out of Pensacola, Florida, and it involves a Waffle House and a woman. Would you like to hear that story?
Oh, absolutely. We're always in the news. Florida is constantly in the news. We're known to be as the silliest, craziest, wackiest people of the entire country, and so these stories don't shock me a bit, although it shocks the rest of the country still. However, expect the unexpected with Florida. So, having said that, I can't wait to hear it.
Well, it involves a Waffle House, but not a blue waffle, okay? So, apparently in Pensacola, Florida, this past Monday, police got a report, right? Okay. So the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, they sent a couple of officers out there to check it out. And there was a woman there, and we're not going to say her name, but, she was identified as Freedom. That's her first name. She was causing problems out in the parking lot, okay? A Waffle House employee called authorities after noticing the woman had dropped her pants and was blocking traffic. Okay? So she's standing out there, no pants on, she's blocking traffic. The employee also told officers she'd been loitering in the area earlier in the day, but she'd run off, and she came back a few hours later and sat by the back door. The employees asked her to leave, and at that point right there, when asked to leave, she became verbally abusive. And she threatened to do what I call a Sandman. She almost pulled a Sandman. She threatened to retrieve her firearm and shoot him in the face. And then the lady who apparently is unemployed, so she must be stressed or something. She also threatened to shoot everyone in the diner. Since when is a Waffle House a diner? Then she walked to the middle of the parking lot. She pulled her pants down, exposing her sexual organs, and began to dance. Then the woman went over to the employee, tried to grab his genitals, and she was not wearing Hank's hands, and licked both sides of his face. Witnesses corroborated that word, his story, telling the officers that she was dancing naked in front of his car, preventing him from leaving. So another witness is trying to get away from the scene, but she was dancing naked in front of his car and wouldn't let him leave. She was loud, causing a disturbance. She was arrested for lewd and...
She was arrested for what?
Wait a minute. Was I just interrupted and cut off by somebody?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, I'm going to continue. She was arrested for lewd and lascivious, whatever, behavior, exposure of sexual organs, disorderly conduct, battery, and assault. She was taken to the county jail, where she is still in there on $5,000 bond. So, that is quite the story from Florida.
You know what I don't understand? I don't understand how they call it a battery. I mean, assault and battery, for example, right? The first thing comes to my mind when I hear those two words: assault, somebody attacking somebody, and a battery. In other words, she grabbed a battery, a D-cell battery, and started throwing it at people. That's the only thing that comes to mind when I hear that. Of course, a battery, I know what it means, yes, but assault and battery, that's the first time, every time I hear that word, for some reason, my mind goes to batteries. Not double A's, not triple A's, not C cell, no, D cell batteries, the big ones, the big rocks, like. Yeah, can you imagine? They would hurt someone, actually, if you whip them at them really fast. And then you can honestly say, Your Honor, I plead guilty for assault and battery. Oh, yeah? What was the weapon of choice? A battery.
I believe the assault was when she tried to grab his genitals without using Hank's hands. Okay, that's the thing. She didn't have the Hank's hands on, and she tried to grab his genitals, like you said. She can honestly say, Your Honor, I did not grab his genitals. Because, But the battery was probably when she tried to lick him in the face. As that is battery by bodily fluid, her saliva.
Another thing that goes to my mind, not just a battery and like a power battery. And another kind of battery comes to my mind is that she grabbed a thing of batter, like I don't know, like batter, frying batter, and she just started whipping it at people. I'm battering you, and I'm gonna deep fry you. Yeah. So she can honestly say to the judge, Yes, Your Honor, I did assault and battery, and it was Aunt Jemima's pancake batter.
And I see Blind Lemon Pie has made an appearance in the box. That's right. I see he is in there. Not quite sure what he's up to. When you never know with that guy. But, yeah, I have a picture also, Rob, of something I find it extraordinary from Florida. I'm going to post this picture here real quick as I'm talking. Okay. And, whoops, that's the wrong picture. Hold on. I clicked on the wrong picture. That is also... Oops. What's going on here? Uh-oh.
Apparently, you're having technical malfunctions and or difficulties. However, Florida always never ceases to amaze me. Really, it doesn't. I've lived here long enough to tell you that I constantly see weird stuff on the constant. And if it's not on the news, it's on everyday life. You can drive down the street and you see everything is fine, and then you look on your side and you can always see some guy sitting in the pond taking a shower. It's like, why would you take a shower in a pond? Well, apparently he's either homeless or whatever. But the point is, in a pond, really? And then right next to him, literally a few steps away, there's a guy actually fishing.
Okay, I have returned. I experienced a slight technical difficulty, but there we go. There is another picture that I posted here. Now, if you will note the temperature, it does not seem to be that cold. But dress in layers, take precautions. It's only, 53 degrees?
Exactly. And you want to hear the funniest part? I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, okay? And I'm a proud masshole. Yeah. And of course, anyone from the Boston area probably knows exactly what I'm talking about when I say masshole. However, as a proud masshole, you see, 53 is what we call spring back home anyway. And so I find it really funny. I've been living here long enough to tell you that 53 to Floridians who are born and raised here, natives of the state, they will tell you that this is freezing. Okay. They have never seen the barometer go beyond 40. And when it does reach 40, these people bundle up. While I'm walking around in a t-shirt and maybe just maybe a sweater. But yeah, it's funny. Florida folk are easily cold, and and yet get this. Here's the funny part. They live in air conditioning. I mean, every house here in Florida is a standard to have an air conditioning. So you would think they would like the cold a little bit every once in a while. Just crack open the window and you'll get a natural uh, air conditioning. No, 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 no. They will wear their scarves and put on the beanies and ski boots and long johns, along with those thick coats and pretend that it is 32 out there.
Limit time outdoors at 53. So here at the Brain Tool Show, kind of like the article says there, the picture, our thoughts and prayers are going out to the Floridians who are suffering from this massive Arctic blast of 53-degree weather down there in Florida, whatever part that may be. Thoughts and prayers. That's exactly what we do here at the Brain Tool Show. We send out thoughts and prayers because we have no money because we had to, remodel the studio because of the bathroom incident. But our thoughts and prayers are with the people in Florida as they brace themselves for this Arctic blast of 53-degree weather. I can't imagine it ever being that. There must be, maybe they mean minus 53. I don't know. That's the only way I could see that they would have to limit time outdoors and dress in layers.
Well, it is rather a unique situation. In all kidding aside, though, here in Florida, it hardly ever gets cold. Really, it does. And every once in a while, it does get cold. Really, there's a couple of weeks that we get a year that are fairly cold. But see, this is where it gets funny. This year was a little more unique. Ever since the beginning of December, it's been cold. And it hasn't been constantly cold. It's been like a seesaw cold. You'll get 3-4 days of cold weather, 2 days of hot, and then again, it repeats every week. So, we've been on that cycle ever since then. And that is unusual for Florida. I've been living here long enough to tell you, it's been bizarrely odd. So limiting time outdoors at 53 degrees is kind of BS. And I don't find that meteorologist logical and or sensible thing to say. Dress in layers, limit your time outdoors. I mean, what's going to happen? Oh my God, you're going to get some breath of fresh air and you might die.
Now, there was a question posted in the text box. Now, since you live down there, Rob, and it has been down to 53 degrees, do they do they delay or cancel school for the kids at that temperature? Because that must be very, very hard to take for them.
Absolutely not. I find it funny. No, they don't do that. They don't do that here. See, okay, I grew up north again, and we did have snow days. We had freeze days. The weather plays a role in how many days you get out of school. Whereas Floridians don't have that luxury. The only time they might have that luxury, and they literally might have that luxury, is usually during August when they're back to school. And, August is a tricky month, you see. August is when they start getting hurricanes. It's still hurricane season. And August, you're not out of the woods just yet. You're still in hurricane season, at the very bottom of the hurricane season. And most likely, if there were to be any hurricanes, they would show up around that time, between August and September. So, August has been a very dangerous month. And so a few years back, actually last year, when they had Irma, of course, they closed the schools for that. And that was the only time I remember that they actually called a state of emergency and they called schools out. But for the cold weather, no, never.
Okay, because I just care about the children. We don't want the children to freeze because their poor little tiny skinny bodies at 53 degrees, I'm sure they're probably in some sort of shock. Uh, we don't want anything to happen to the kids at that temperature.
Of course not. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to send a photo of this particular app that I use, and it's been a very helpful app for me. It gives you more of a better reading of what weather we're looking at. And here's the weather we're looking at, literally, for the remainder of this week, or the beginning of the rest of next week, whatever. And so, if you look at the 7-day weekend here, at this particular photo, you'll notice that we don't get cold, really. And I'm not envious of it, really. I'm not. I kind of miss the cold. I like I love 4 seasons. Okay, I grew up in a state that actually has all 4 seasons, whereas here in Florida it's either spring or, or summer, and that's all we get, really, spring and/or summer. Very rarely we go into winter-like weather. But in the defense of certain Floridians, we do get a couple of days here and there where it reaches the 30s, sometimes even bottom 30s, like 31, 30. So we've reached those temperatures last week and the week before. So, but it's not a constant thing.
Okay, because like I said, I would hate for anybody to have to bear such a cold temperature such as 53 degrees. That's just totally unlikely. And we have a texture in the box that says in Minnesota, I believe it says on Monday, they're supposed to have, including the wind chill, minus 35. So the weather has been crazy all over the Midwest and across the United States this past week. I mean, myself, my temperatures, or the temperatures back home where I'm from, I don't think have gotten. They got up to like 40 the other day, and that was like a fluke thing because it had been such frigid temperatures, been down below zero, and then it snow melted, started raining, 40 degrees, 47 degrees, whatever, and then it dipped back down. It's supposed to get back down into the single digits this weekend and first of next week. I myself am enjoying temperatures of in the 50s for highs all week this week, for the past week, as a matter of fact.
Well, you see, that's very interesting that you said that. With their northern states, border states specifically, from the Midwest all the way out to the East Coast, they're facing a very, very, very terrible thing that's happening to them, which is an Arctic blast that's coming in, and it's going to drop temperatures to minus 35 and minus 29 and so on. And that was the latest forecast on those particular states. Of course, Minnesota is one of them. Green Bay and all these areas. So, those folks are going to be facing a very, very, very rough winter in the next week. And so, thoughts and prayers, of course. But the funniest thing is, I really sincerely hope, with the Arctic blast, that means it's going to bring in high winds. And high winds with that kind of temperatures, what it can do, it can really devastate any state or any conditions. Never mind the whiteout blizzard-like storms that may come with it. However, definitely the wind will cause a lot of freezing. And freezing, of course, through the pipes of the house and businesses, and of course, it might even drop power lines and phone lines. And with that in mind, this is not a friendly weather. It really isn't. So we got to keep an eye out on that.
That's why it is very, very important. We may make light of the joke about the Floridians at 53, but if you are in an area where the temperatures are freezing cold, please dress accordingly. Do dress in layers. Make sure your head is covered. Cover your extremities, such as your fingers. Make sure your feet stay warm. Don't go out unless you really have to, if it's that cold. But I understand some employers, it doesn't matter. The world could have come to an end yesterday and broken apart into 6 different pieces, but by golly, you got to get to work. So, if you do need to venture outside in extreme cold temperatures, please dress accordingly and stay warm. Please avoid hypothermia. And, Yes, and especially the elderly. Keep an eye on the elderly, for they may wander outside to get the mail. Next thing you know, they're passed out on the sidewalk because it's too cold. So please, everybody, take precautions and be prepared.
Not to mention, I mean, I'm not trying to tease anyone, but while people are outdoors, dodging this particular cold blast that's coming in, I have to go outdoors and mow the lawn. I haven't mowed the lawn for a little over a month now, and that's simple because we've had, like I said, this particular weather pattern that we've been getting, and it hasn't rained a bit, not at all, in fact. So grass hasn't been growing as fast as it should. So it's been a little over a month since I mowed the lawn, and I tend to do that tomorrow morning. Speaking of tomorrow, by the way, do you remember tomorrow? Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. The afternoon twist at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be broadcasting with the host, of course. The hostess with the mostest, Kayla and Psycho Bagapus. Those two, they're going to have a lot of news to bring in for you, and they're going to recap the whole entire week with anything that has to do with news, has to do with anything that has to do with technology, gaming, so on and so forth. And they've been doing an awesome job bringing you good news. So, look them up tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow at 1 p.m., the afternoon twist.
That is right. Tomorrow afternoon. Do not forget. Be there or be square. And it looks like we're speaking about weather. Sudden little storm came over here where I'm parked. Started raining. Now it's done. Wow. It's weird, weird weather. Goodness, Rob. Anything else you have for us interesting this week that may have happened in Florida?
Yes, as a matter of fact, something did happen to me in Florida. And I don't know, this may sound a little offbeat, but this is a segment that I'd like to call, Wow, I just ate that. I just ate that. Well, guess what? There is a new restaurant that opened up nearby. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big, and I'm a sucker for anything that has to do with ramen. Of course, some people call it ramen, some people call it ramen, whatever. And ramen is basically soup where it has a big portion of noodles in the middle. And, of course, it comes topped with veggies and meats and what have you. And it's, of course, a Japanese thing. And I'm a big fan of that. So this particular restaurant that I went to, they actually served a very, very interesting way of serving ramen. Now, I'm going to be posting a picture of it here. And what captured my interest is that every ramen restaurant on the planet usually serves their ramen in a nice, beautiful bowl. Well, not this place. This place actually served it in a to-go bowl. And it was too small, overpriced, I think, in my opinion. The broth was killer. The choice of noodle was a little too thin. It wasn't the best. But overall, it wasn't bad at all. So, that is the most interesting thing that ever came out of Florida as of yet. We are a hot state, and to have a soup place that just sells soup, I don't see it.
Are those like blueberries on there?
No, actually, believe it or not, it's a seaweed. Seaweed, and they have also as well. It was topped with seaweed and topped with mushrooms, what they call what Jesus, I forgot what they have a name for it. Oh yeah, forest brush mushrooms, and also had a green green onions, and of course the noodles were great, and it was actually a pork belly. I'm a sucker for pork belly. The broth was also pork belly, and so to be honest with you, again, I don't see how this is a business model for Florida. It's not a good idea to get into business of soup, where in a state like this, you get only 2 months of winter, and if you want to call it that, and the rest is just hot as hell. It's a very bad business model, in my opinion. So I'm anticipating about 3 months of business, and they probably go out of business.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I hate to see places go out of business. But I found another article out of Florida here. I'm not picking on Florida. It's just that a lot of weird things happen down there. There was a couple from Michigan that were forced off a flight when they were told other passengers complained about their body odor. They were flying American Airlines, and they had their 19-month-old daughter with them, and they were trying to get back to their 8 other children. Wow! After a vacation in Miami, trying to get back to Michigan, and then so they had a couple of flights delayed and changed and whatnot because of weather. And then on Wednesday night, they were removed from a plane after complaints about their body odor. Uh, can you imagine? You're in front of all these other passengers, and the crew comes to take you off the plane because you stink.
Well, that's a stinker. Definitely a stinker. But then again, I kind of believe it, to be honest with you. It is embarrassing, but I believe it. I mean, if you're coming from Florida, where you're sweating your ass off, and you were just on the beach about 20 minutes ago, and then you got on a flight, and you're sweating, and your sweat, your BO is a little on the high side. Obviously, at this point, yeah, I mean, but would you travel next to a person who actually does have body odor? See, in a sense, you have to look at it from the other perspective. Would you honestly sit next to a guy who reeks, throughout the remainder of your flight? Now, be it your flight could be a couple hours, maybe 2, maybe 1, doesn't matter, regardless of the duration. The entire time you're stuck in that seat, and the guy next to you reeks of high heaven. Wait, it gets better. Imagine that guy actually ate a farty meal, a gassy meal. Oh, God, all sorts of smells at this point. Not only you get the body odor, but the bowel odor as well.
I would definitely, I don't know. I try and I do my best uh, to eliminate body odor by practicing hygiene, good hygiene, which includes showers, brushing my teeth, and stuff. But the couple thinks that it wasn't because of their body odor that they were escorted off the plane. They're claiming that it's because they're Jewish, and that's why they were escorted off the plane.
I don't know if you know if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Okay, I mean, if they smell bad, they smell bad. You know, although believe it or not, there is a sect in the Judaism uh, where they don't really supposed to take showers, if I'm not mistaken, and they don't do it on purpose. That could be also another reason. But if it is, then they have to prove in the court of law that it's a religious belief, and people have to, you know, close their nose and breathe from their mouth for the remainder of the flight because it's their God-given right not to shower.
Even if you breathe through your mouth, you're going to taste it.
Yes, you will taste it eventually, but you know, no. But I don't think this is the Jewish thing is the reason. If you stink, you stink. You know, how am I supposed to know you're Jewish and you're not taking a shower? Or how am I supposed to know you're Muslim and you didn't take? I don't know that. Obviously, you know, the guy next to me, I can care less if he's a devil worshiper for all I know. If he stinks, he stinks.
And especially if you stink of raw ass, that's a smell that just you can never forget.
I love raw ass. Every time I smell raw ass, I wonder to myself, is this based on shitting, sweating, and shitting, sweating, shitting, and not showering? All three. So it depends. There are various reasons as to why you would get a raw ass smell. Um, I prefer the one that actually has all three because not only you get body odor, but also shit odor, ass odor, and my very favorite, a mix of both. And you'd be like, oh man, dude, yeah, you need to die.
I'll tell you what. Now that I drive across the United States back and forth, I stop at truck stops to fuel up, grab a bite to eat or whatever. And let me tell you, there's a few out there that need to buy some Febreze.
Febreze doesn't work really well. I usually resort to battery acid.
To get rid of your raw ass smell.
To get rid of their raw ass, I'd like to grab a bottle of battery acid and just, squeeze it on their ass and like, hey, you feel that burn? Yeah, you'll never get that smell ever again.
That's why it's, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to practice good hygiene.
I don't know. You see, it's not just hygiene, also. I mean, I get it if you were in the gym and you're going home, you run into somebody and, they want to strike up a conversation. And, obviously at that point, you're a stinker. But I always like to make the point of saying, you just caught me coming out of the gym, so please don't expect me to be at my best hygiene. So the disclaimer has to be given as to why you stink. You just doesn't look. It's not fair when you see somebody and you just start striking up a conversation and they just sit there and they reek of their own smell and they're like, you know what? Stop talking, please. I want to go on my merry way, and I don't like the way you smell. You think that's bad? Imagine talking to somebody with that bad morning breath. No matter what they brush or they gargle in, it's just. It's like a dead animal that comes out of them every time they say, "Oh, people." It's like, "Oh, stop saying people. Just stop. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up."
Whoa there, Rob. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
Yeah, when you get like a bad breath person and it's like you want to tell them that their breath stinks, so you offer them, like Tic Tacs or gum, and they refuse it, and it's like you give them that nasty look and they still don't get it. Oh, that just gets me. It's like, what can I possibly tell you that your breath stinks? And then you become the asshole who actually says, hey, wait a minute, stop talking. Please stop talking. Your breath is kicking, and it's kicking bad. And let me tell you, I don't want to talk to you at this point because your breath is an ass. Now, in their mind, they're thinking, what an asshole. But you know what? You are not an asshole. You're a hero because you saved your life and the life of others telling that idiot that his breath stinks.
There's unless you're behind a glass window and they can't smell your breath.
If you're behind a glass window, all you have to do is just sit there and go, yeah, sure. I can't hear what you're saying, but whatever, yeah, sure, yeah, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Did I what? Oh, no, thank you.
Or you could sit behind a glass window and tell someone their fortune.
Wait a minute. Sit behind a glass. Are we talking about the wonderful and amazing Zoltar?
We could be, very well.
Here we go. That's it. This is the moment of truth. You know what, guys, ladies and gents, folks, that there was my cue of introducing to you our beloved friend Zoltar. Yes, Zoltar. Yes, Zoltar. The guy who reads your future, the guy who reads your palm. No, not your palm. Well, he reads into the future, and we are opening the mics for you to talk to our beloved, most wonderful Zoltar. Zoltar, the magnificent Zoltar, the amazing. Zoltar, do you read me?
Uh, okay. All right. Zoltar, allow me to introduce myself. I am Rob the Brain, and welcome to the show, the amazing Zoltar. Yeah. Now we will be opening the mics for you to take some people's read their fortune, and we will ask our callers to please step up to the microphone and ask Zoltar any question you wish.
Almighty Zotar, my question to you is, in my future, do you see any chance of me having a beautiful woman?
Zoltar says, hold on one moment here. You didn't say the magic words. Okay. Zoltar says, someday you will find and marry your beautiful woman, but first you've got to take off your Hank's hands.
Oh, wow. 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 That's an amazing, amazing reading. Amazing reading. Folks, who else want to step up and ask Zoltar, the amazing Zoltar, anything they wish?
Hi, Zoltar. And hi, Brain Tool Show, long-time listener here. My car just kind of pooped out. It died. And so I was wondering, Zoltar, what car should I purchase?
Zoltar says, you should purchase a Chevy Suburban or equivalent. Roomy, lots of room for luggage and the kids, but it sucks on gas.
Well, what the hell? Does Zoltar work for the GM company? Anyhow, okay. Anybody else would like to ask Zoltar, the amazing Zoltar, anything about their future?
Hey, Zotar, you think me and Stone will ever get married?
Zoltar's reply is, hazy. Please try again in 2 minutes.
Well, my Zotar, I know you're hazy on the last question. Please answer my question with a clear look. What age am I going to live up to?
Zoltar says, oh great Mr. Centerfold, don't quit your day job. The pictures are sexy, but not good enough for Playgirl.
Oh my God, that's a very good reading of the amazing Zoltar. You know, you guys asked the Zoltar question. Let me ask him something. Oh, great Zoltar, will I have diarrhea later on tonight? Because I think I ate too much cheese.
Zoltar says, don't forget the silverware.
Zotar, can I ask him my question again? You think Stone and I will ever get married?
Tilly, Zoltar's reply is, yes. Yes. You will get married, and you will have 8 beautiful children.
You know, for the amazing Zoltar, I have a question here. Um, Zoltar, am I getting diarrhea later on tonight?
Zoltar's reply is yes. If your pants begin to burst, then it's time to hit the restroom. Diarrhea, cha cha cha.
Oh, that is an accurate reading. I say that. I say that. Diarrhea, cha cha cha. That's my thing. Wow. No, he really is amazing. He really is amazing. Now, um, you know, I love Zoltar, love him to death, but you guys have to ask him tougher questions. Tougher, much tougher. Get tough on the amazing Zoltar. By the way, Buffalo Tool is standing at a Zoltar machine right at this very moment, and he is feeding it, you know, coins here and dollars or whatnot. So please take advantage of that.
Wise and powerful Zoltar. What's this rash? It's kind of bumpy, a little pussy. What? Should I go see a doctor? What is this rash? Oh, asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
Zoltar says, next time, don't use car air fresheners as deodorant.
Listen here,
I'm sorry, Adam. You had a question for Zoltar?
nothing.
Oh, one more. This is truly asking for a friend. Have someone that's studying for a major math test. It's huge. Must pass to continue her education to receive her degree. And she's really worried about it. Wants to know, is the third time a charm?
Zoltar says, unfortunately, no. It will be close, but the 4th time will be a charm. Contrary to popular belief, the 4th time in this case will be the charm.
Wow. Wow, you gotta love Zoltar. Come on, guys. You know you want to ask Zoltar questions. Dr. Cringe, do you have a question for the amazing Zoltar?
I guess I could ask. Yeah. What's my power in comparison to his?
Zoltar says, his power is huge in comparison to your power, but you possess a unique power. You just have to discover it first.
I think he's talking about your farting power. I know you can do what, 60 psi per fart? That's amazing.
And pink fluffy unicorns.
Wow. So Zoltar Zoltar has predicted all of this, folks. You know, I have a question for Zoltar, a good question for Zoltar. Between Pepsi or Coke, which is it for you?
Zoltar's reply is Pepsi. It's refreshing. And you got the right one, baby. Uh-huh.
I have one more last question. And it must be asked, folks. Zoltar, almighty Zoltar, guy entrapped in the machine. What is the outcome of the disgusting bathroom that we've all seen? Will it be fixed and cleaned and perfectly right? Or still will it sit out of sight?
Zoltar's reply is, the bathroom situation will be corrected. The money is in the top drawer underneath your underwear. Quit trying to hide it and pay it. That's his reply.
Damn it, Adam. And you claim that you don't have money?
So apparently he's got a big wad of cash stashed under his underwear.
Hey, Zoltar never lies.
I was wondering what that bulge was.
No, not in your underwear. Under the underwear in the underwear drawer.
Oh, okay. Well, then I am happy. Woohoo!
Great. Very, very good. Guys, we've come to the bottom of our show, and we're about 10 minutes away from getting off in the air. And so, before we go off here, really, if you're listening to us across the universe, and you are, through proper channels such as YouTube and or Twitch, first of all, allow us to thank you. Really, we'd like to extend a hand and ask you to please join our community and come in onto Zello app, download the Zello app, and come into our show. Yes, you can ask us questions and interact with us and actually get to know our family of friends that come in here every single night on CB Radio Drama Free. Please remember, we do these shows not just for your entertainment or theirs. It's just to make people laugh. So if we ever offended anyone, oh well, tough luck. You know what? And if we haven't offended you, we didn't do our job. So, having said that, thank you very much for listening. And we really appreciate everything that you guys have helping out. Pay TV, thank you so much. Special thanks for Will Ross for giving us his song. Again, Horny Robot is a song that you honestly can go online and listen to on YouTube. Just, search for Horny Robot by Will Ross. And so, having said that, we have come to our end of our show. And I'm going to give the mic to our beloved friend, Buffalo Tool. Buffalo Tool, please tell us what you think or how we should think.
We have come to the bottom of our show. We have one caller left. Excuse me. That apparently has been on hold for a while. May I, Rob, take this last caller before I give my closing statement?
Absolutely.
Okay, caller, go ahead with your question or comment.
Why, thank you for having me. I am traveling across the interstates and have been in and out of signal, so I haven't caught everything. But I will say this. If he blew up the toilet, and do you want anything that's anywhere near any of his underwear? I would have to ask that. That is number one. Number two, you were asking me earlier for a vote on the sexiest man in the room. Do I have that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what we were requesting.
Well, on reviewing all the photos, I have to say, I didn't realize I was surrounded by so much sexiness. When I come in here and I talk, man, I'm overwhelmed now by all the sexy men in the room. I just don't know how I could pick just one.
Well, you see, there's like you said, there's a lot of sexy men in here, and of course, has to be that one guy that you saw this evening of all these photos that you can say, now that's a sexy man. In your humble opinion, who would that be?
Why, thank you, Angel.
Now, see, Angel, remember, you had those pictures to review. You had Buffalo Tool, you had Rob, you had a picture that Alan submitted that you know is not his, but it still would consider it Alan. You had Lone Wolf and Adam. And I think that was it. Am I missing somebody?
I feel left out.
No, I reviewed all the photos, and I would have to say the one photo I kept coming back to was Buffalo Tool with the leopard print. That would have to be my number one pick.
Oh, great. So your vote would have to be Buffalo Tool. Great. Buffalo Tool, you just got an extra one on your on your repertoire. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations, I knew the leopard would bring out the color of your eyes.
I have been told I have some pretty amazing eyes.
Oh, man. Well, there you go. There you have it, folks. You've wasted 2 hours with us here on CB Radio Drama Free on the Brain Tool Show. And, having said that, we are going to have to close this very wonderful evening. We appreciate every listener and every participant and or everyone that actually supports our show. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have the Brain Tool Show. And so, having said that, Buffalo Tool, I'll give it up to you now, sir, and see what you can make of it.
All right. I would like to send out the thank yous. Rattlesnake, LBT, OG Criminal, founders, co-founders, you, Rob, all of our listeners, our participants, Hank, for being such a gracious target to our humor tonight. Thank you, Hank. Adam, you've got a great sense of humor. Thanks for being the butt of our jokes and taking it so well, the butt of our jokes. And our Twitch people out there listening, hosting, streaming us, and viewers on YouTube as well. Everybody here in the CB Radio Drama Free, ROC or ROC friendlies, you still help us out by supporting us. Computer Chick for all her technical guru stuff that she does behind the scenes. And I think that's it. Did I miss anybody, Rob? If not, you can just go ahead and wrap it up.
No, sir, you did not miss anybody else. But before we go, I would like to thank our special, friend of ours now, who actually submitted us a beautiful song, Horny Robot by Will Ross. Will Ross, thank you very much. You've been a very good support of our show. And so, having said that, we're gonna have the song play us out. Thank you very much for listening. We'll tune in next week. Don't forget us next week. We're going to be on here again on Saturday night at midnight, the Brain Tool Show. And don't forget tomorrow, you're going to be actually tuning in to listening to the Afternoon Twist with Psychoback Twist and Kayla. They will be bringing you the latest news. These are pretty much an ROC production. Having said that, thank you for your tuning in. Thank you for participating. Good night. We'll see you next week. This has been an ROC production.
But I'm alive, love me. I'm alive, love me. I'm alive. robot. I don't love you, horny robot. I never will, horny robot. I don't love you, horny robot. You're just a robot girl. But I